Have you met Alan Cumming? Sorry, set limitations on the craziness, and so it does not compute.
Hello, pot, kettle,
Well, the
beige.
last show we worked on together, which was also here at the Lincoln Centre in the same theatre, was the Bacchae, where Alan played Dionysus. So once you've done that, you've kind of opened the hellmouth, haven't you?
God of excess. yeah. When you've set the walls of the theatre on fire, everything's downhill.
Yeah. The Rose Theatre, where Macbeth's going to be on, is a beautiful space. It feels very, very generous. It feels very connected. I mean, it's a big space. It's got a lot of air to fill, but that's fine. And it's a wonderful festival to be part of, because you know, during that period, July, it feels like that's, you know, the kind of most exciting theatre is found at the Lincoln Centre Festival, and it's Alan's schedule. His filming schedule is such that he's got a very limited time off, and so
it's perfect that we could do it here.
We were a bit concerned. We wanted to bring the show to New York, but we didn't really know how we would do that, given the result. And then we were like, oh my God, I wonder if the Lincoln Centre Festival would be interested, and so.
And they were.
And they were.
Yeah, it's great. Doing the Bacchae here was a really great thing, and then also I did my sort of concert cabaret show. I bought a blue card today at the Allen Room, as part of the American Songbook series, and that was so, you know, that was the start of me doing. I premiered it there, and so it was the start of this whole other career as a crooner, and also, but in terms of like overcoming a big fear about singing, and also about doing something on my own. And so it's interesting. I probably wouldn't have been as comfortable about doing this version of Macbeth had I not had that experience doing a one-man sort of a cabaret show here. So it's really interesting. And then when I premiered the show, it's the same crew, the techies who were doing in Allen Room, who'd done the Rose Theatre, and it was about maybe a year later, and they were still, the guys came up to me when we were doing the sound check. They're like, Alan, everybody still talks about the fact that you guys set the walls on fire. We don't know, and they dangled you upside down by your ankles. How did they get away with that?
That was amazing, actually. I was telling someone the other day about our licensing for that. What happened is in the Bacchae, when Dionysus gets out of prison and breaks down the walls of Pentheus's palace, it was a white kind of undulating wall, and we set the whole thing on fire. It had gas pipes running across it, which we ignited.
And the audience were like,
yeah,
it practically singed your eyebrows. It was so intense.
And the New York Fire Department had to come and give us a license to do that. So we were really nervous. It was I think it was the last dress rehearsal that this guy came from the fire department, and so we were me and the production manager Neil Black were stood at the back of the theatre, and he was a bit in front of us. And anyway, it came to that moment, and someone had got the pressure inside the gas pipes wrong, and do you remember this? The flames shot 5 meters higher than they've ever done before, and we're supposed to.
Oh, and the things were all all the flies up in
the flies and all this
moving.
dust,
all the light things were moving.
This dust that, like, from when the theatre was built, just floated down.
That's right.
And me and the production manager, we were like that. Well, that's it then. Plane.
Cancel.
And the guy came up from the fire department and went, "Oh, that's amazing! I can't wait to bring my kids."
Never mind, they're going to get that.
We were convinced we were going to get thrown out of, marched out of New York.
Yeah. There'll be nudity.
Will there?
Won't there? How can you have a bath without being?
Yeah, but we might not see you get in and get out.
Oh, all right.
There'll
be partial nudity.
There'll be a bathing at one point. Actually, there'll be nudity.
We've said
probably the most outrageous thing is that we're going to be very, very pure about the text.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the most outrageous thing.
It's been really interesting, actually, because the whole, world, it seems, it's been a really interesting cross-section from the New York Times to Perez Hilton have all covered in the last couple of days the announcement of doing this. And I was just in LA, and everyone was asking me about it on the red carpet at this film event. And I've been really fascinated about why it's, I guess it is kind of weird, but everyone's so fascinated and interested, and that's really great. But I didn't realize until just earlier that I think people probably think we're going to do something weird with it, and actually what it is going to be is a man who for whatever reasons is absolutely obsessed with telling the story of Macbeth.
He's reliving the story.
Yeah, reliving the story. It's inside his head. His whole, he actually thinks he's there. So therefore, the text and the actual play is paramount, and clarity about the text and the story is paramount to this production, even though it's housed within some bizarre, there's a sort of a filter of what his circumstances are.
And you know, this play's been around for a good few years now, and it's done all right.
Done all right.
It's done all right, and you know, I think it's really exciting when people find different ways to tell stories. And you know, the play is going to survive way beyond this production of Macbeth. You know,
well, it would be funny if he killed it. Nobody ever did Macbeth in the world after this.
That's very unlikely.